10 seconds left. Diamond Miller, that's the one they want to have the ball. Miller launches a three off the rim. No. Rebound pulled down by Shank. Puts up the jumper. Good at the buzzer. Franklin defeats Manasquan 50-48, and they win the New Jersey State Championship.
We said it the whole game. These two freshmen, the Shank sisters, it's like they were born for this moment. She gets that ball with the wherewithal to back out, square up, fire, and hit the biggest shot of her young life.
These defending state champions from Franklin are trying to become only the second team in New Jersey history to win back-to-back state titles. Their opponent, the team they stunned at the buzzer last year, a team making its 5th straight TOC final appearance. News 12 Varsity presents the NJSIAA Girls Tournament of Champions championship game. The defending New Jersey State champion Warriors of Franklin versus the Manasquan Warriors. Hello again, everyone. Lou Brogno on the call alongside David Resnick, and we welcome you to the Cure Insurance Arena here in Trenton, New Jersey State Capitol for the girls basketball state championship tilt. Tremendous matchup, a rematch of last year's historic championship game between Franklin and Manasquan. The Warriors, of course, winning at the buzzer a year ago, and many girls basketball fans here in the Garden State have kind of circled this matchup since that game last year, looking for the rematch here today.
It's exciting because we're either going to get repeat for Franklin as they claw their way through a tough semifinal overtime victory in the last round, or we're going to get redemption for Manasquan. It's a team that's really been thinking about last year's game and hoping to get to this point for the whole season.
Franklin Township, another outstanding season for the Warriors as they go to 25-7 on the year. And, of course, they are led by Diamond Miller, Tiana Jackson, Camille Gray, Keona Schenk, and Kennedy Schenk, who hit that game-winning shot last year at the buzzer, round out the starting lineup. Diamond Miller, though, one of the top players not only in New Jersey, but in the entire tri-state area.
Franklin did not lead in their semifinal overtime victory against St. Rose until the overtime period. Down the stretch, Diamond Miller took over. 25 points to lead the way. But what might be most impressive about Miller is the plays she makes when it matters the most. Not so much points, hustle plays, rebounds, blocks. Miller can take over a game.
Meanwhile, Manasquan making girls basketball history. This is their 5th straight Tournament of Champions finals. In fact, they've played in 6 of the last 7, and it's one of the top girls basketball starting lineups you'll see anywhere in the nation. Led by their outstanding sophomore Lola Mullaney, Carly Geisler, Faith Masonis, a terrific player, Emma McMenamin, and Dara Mabry, the New Jersey Player of the Year last season.
Well, if Manasquan is going to play for a TOC championship, they must have a Mabry in the starting lineup. This is Dara, 26 points and 5 rebounds last time out. And Mabry is off to Virginia Tech. The question for her entering this game was the status of her ankle. She hurt it with about 3 minutes to go in the semifinals. She looks ready to go today.
All right, we're just moments away from the rematch in the girls basketball state championship. Franklin and Manasquan up next on News 12 Varsity.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
We can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
I said I'd do better.
Saying it and doing it are 2 different things.
When your child is struggling in school, no matter what his or her age, or on the SAT or ACT, Huntington can help. Get help now. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN and save $100. 1-800-CAN-LEARN.
What's available on demand from Optimum this month? Wonder.
I know I'm not an ordinary kid.
You are not ugly, and anyone who cares to know you will see that.
You can't blend in when you were born to stand out.
Daddy's home, too.
Your father hasn't met the new evolved Dusty. That's exactly the stuff he's going to make fun of us for.
This guy's raising your kids half the time.
Disney Pixar's Coco.
I'm supposed to play music.
Never forget how much your family loves you.
Watch these plus tons of other on-demand movies all month long. Optimum.
Welcome back to the Cure Insurance Arena here in Trenton. Lou Brogno along with David Resnick, and the third member of our broadcast team, of course, Amanda Puglisi, who is courtside for these championship games. Amanda?
Well, Lou, last year's championship game is certainly on the minds of both of these teams and both of these coaches. And the interesting thing here, when you look at Manasquan, they had the game after Franklin. And as soon as they saw that Franklin punched their ticket to this game, it was a little extra motivation because they wanted to get Franklin in the championship game. They really wanted to get that taste, the sour taste out of their mouth. And for Franklin, they know that the target is on their back. They say, hey, it comes with the territory. But Coach Taylor says it hasn't really affected the team. They just play their game. And being here and having the success they have certainly helps their confidence.
Well, you see both head coaches there. Audrey Taylor on the left, the head coach of Franklin, and Lisa Kokoda, the head coach of Manasquan, in her 6th season. 4 short conference tournament titles, 5 Group 2 titles, 1 TOC title. What a job she's done at Manasquan. And Audrey Taylor as well. Last year, the New Jersey Coach of the Year. One-time player at Monmouth. Great player for South River High School in her high school playing days. We're ready to go. The rematch from last year's thrilling victory for Franklin Township. Manasquan in the white and Franklin Township in their road blue. The Warriors of Manasquan, the number 1 seed, and Faith Masonis starts the scoring for Manasquan, and they take a 2-0 lead.
Top to bottom, Manasquan with a height advantage. Can the Warriors take advantage of it, in particular Masonis inside?
Tiana Jackson flips it to Kiona Shank. In the corner is Kennedy Shank, who hit that big shot last year to give Franklin their first ever state title. This is Jackson with a nice move to the hoop, and she scores, and we're tied at 2.
Jackson, along with 2 other teammates, saddled with foul trouble in the semifinals. Important for her to get off to a quick start.
Carly Geisler dribbles the basketball here for Manasquan. Flips it now over to Mabry. Dara Mabry spinning and twisting off the glass, dances off the rim. Rebound pulled down, long jump shot outside. No, another offensive rebound for Manasquan, and that shot misses its target, and Franklin will come the other way.
Manasquan comes up empty, but best sign of that whole sequence is that Mayberry looks A-OK as she grabs the defensive rebound.
Aaron Mabry quickly across the midcourt line, dribbles into the lane, puts it up off the glass, can't score, and the rebound pulled down by Diamond Miller. Up ahead to Gray, Camille Gray goes back to Shank. This will be a quick-paced game, folks. So fasten your seatbelts. These teams will go up and down the court.
Franklin averaging about 70 points per game throughout the regular season.
Tiana Jackson misses. Here comes Faith Masonis, who can play in the forward position or at a guard slot as well. Very versatile player for Manasquan.
And a tough assignment for Miller defensively.
Carly Geisler outside, and Diamond Miller hops out on her defensively. Lola Mullaney, just a sophomore. Very promising young player for Manasquan. Mabry open, pops a 3 off the mark. A slow start for the Manasquan offense, and we're still tied at 2. 5:45 remaining in the first quarter of the 2018 New Jersey State Championship game. Here's Miller, dribbles in, flips it outside, Jackson in the corner, Shank delivers back to Miller, pops a 3, that's in and out, and the rebound to Masonis. Faith Masonis running the floor, dribbles in, now takes it on the baseline, floats it up, can't score. Basket with a lid on it at both ends for these two outstanding offensive teams. Schenk goes inside Jackson, who tried to flip it over her shoulder. Gray gets it and travels.
A lot of times, Lou, you'll see in championship games missed shots, but they come from the outside. And playing on a bigger floor with lines for both pro and professional, sometimes players extend their range. So the good sign is that these players are attacking the rim like Mayberry is here, but they just haven't scored yet.
Well, the foul on Franklin will send Dara Mayberry to the line.
Really attacking Schenk there, and Kiona with a tough defensive assignment in a matchup of 10s.
Dara Mayberry at the line, over 2,000 points in her brilliant career. Misses the free throw, and she's one of the top free throw shooters in the Tri-State. She was 15 of 18 from the line in the semifinal over the win over Saddle River Day. Hits one of two to give Manasquan a 1-point lead. They're up 3-2. Here's Jackson, dribbles in, flips it outside to Schenk. Kennedy Schenk to Diamond Miller, drives the baseline, can't connect. Rebound pulled down by Camille Gray, and then the rebound taken down by Mullaney, who protects the basketball. Mayberry brings it up quickly. Now bursts to the hoop and has it blocked by Miller on the baseline. Well, they're going to call the foul on Diamond Miller. So that'll send Dara Mayberry to the line. Mayberry almost 23 points per game. She had 33 points in the Shore Conference final. And the second, good as well. So she hits both, and Manasquan has a 3-point lead. They're up 5-2. Diamond Miller brings it across. So quick, terrific offensive player, and she's fouled on the baseline. Fouls on Carly Geisler, that's her first.
Defensive assignment number 1 for Manasquan, clearly slowing down Miller, and Coach Kokoda saying it would be a team effort as Kiona Shanks knocks down the 3. But while you think about Miller and her dominance, Franklin is obviously a well-balanced team, a Group 4 state championship. You can't win that if you only have one star player.
Here's a strip and a steal by Schenk. And then a reach-in foul. No, it's a jump ball. And the arrow will favor Franklin on the alternating possession. We're tied at 5. 3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining here in the first. There's that steal by Schenk. Diamond Miller outside, dribbles, now takes it in, flips it outside, Schenk. Miller, a long 3 from the corner, off the rim, doesn't go. Look at Tiana Jackson, and it's stripped away by Masonis. Faith Masonis carries it on her hip, and then a little bit of a smile from Faith afterwards.
Try to disguise it, try to unload it up the floor, but sometimes you just get caught up as Masonis turns it over.
Faith Masonis, 19 points, 10 rebounds on the season. Just a junior, scored her 1,000th point in mid-January. Here's Schenk outside to Kennedy Schenk. Miller almost lost the handle. Mayberry out on Miller. There's a matchup for you. Schenk. Tough defense here by Manasquan. Now Miller open, pops a 3, doesn't go. Rebound underneath, put up by Camille Gray. She can't score. And Masonis rips down the rebound again. Faith Masonis dribbles in, coast to coast, and hits.
What a skill set for Masonis. Playing a forward position, but really she can play all 5 spots on the floor. Mayberry wanted on the other side on the wing, but Masonis never stopped, always keeping the rim in her vision.
7-5, Manasquan up by a bucket. 2:50 remaining here in the first. Kennedy Schenk, top of the key, flips it outside Jackson. Diamond Miller comes out to get the pass, now moving against Mabry, bumps off her, then puts it up and in off the glass.
So elusive, keeping the dribble at 6'3". Those are guard skills and guard feet. Manasquan is always looking to shade in her direction on the drive, but step through the entire defense.
Franklin now with some tough defense, trying to trap Masonis. Good look inside to Mulaney.
Masonis, Mulaney, and Mabry accounting for 71 of the 81 in the semifinal victory over Saddle River Day.
Ball knocked away and stolen by McMenamin. And the call goes against Franklin. There is Lisa Kokoda. We talked about all the accomplishments she's had in her 6-year coaching career. How about that? 4 short conference titles, 5 Group 2 titles, and a TOC title, trying to win her 2nd year today.
If you were any type of school, that resume would be unbelievable. But when you're a Group 2 school, and granted, a basketball roster is only 12 girls deep, that's a great feat to the post for Masonis. But when you're a smaller school, the percentages of cultivating good players is lower. And to build a powerhouse like Manasquan has become at that size is even more impressive.
Tiana Jackson drills it from outside. Things heating up now, and Manasquan has a 2-point lead, 11-9. Final minute and a half, stolen by Franklin, and a foul called on Manasquan.
Dara Mabry with a hard foul, tying it up there with Schenk. Lots of physicality early on, a lot of intensity. It's been a year in the making, and Manasquan and Franklin are dueling again in a TOC final.
Timeout called, 1:26 remaining here in the first quarter. By the way, these two teams on fire coming into this game, David. Franklin Township has won 17 straight games, knocking off Old Tappan in the first round of the TOC 56-45. Then a huge come-from-behind win against St. Rose, 56-53 in the semifinals in overtime. Manasquan, they've won 20 straight games coming in. Their last loss, the middle of January against Red Bank Catholic.
It's amazing to think what Manasquan has to do to get to this point with all those wins in a row. Their regular season in the Shore, to win that conference, knowing that St. Rose and St. John Vianney is there. Again, it's a Group 2 school, but for Franklin, 3rd state title in the last 4 years. Their 3rd appearance in the TOC. Each year they faced Manasquan, the last 2, of course, in the final. And in their first trip back in 2015, it was a semifinal loss to Manasquan. The first of back-to-back losses, or excuse me, the last win for Manasquan in the TOC.
Jackson with a beautiful spinning move in the lane. We are tied at 11. Final minute of quarter number 1. Dara Mabry walks it across the midcourt line. Nice crossover dribble, takes it in and draws the foul.
I think the cross matchup in the first quarter is very interesting, where Kiona Schenk is guarding Mabry, but on the other end, Mabry is picking up Miller. So when Franklin has the ball, it's star against star. But Miller, who is out of the game currently, has not picked up Mabry on this end.
McMenamin getting that offensive rebound keeps it alive for Manasquan. Kirsten McLeod, by the way, in the lineup now for Franklin. And also Annie Mako, the junior, on the floor for Manasquan. Diamond Miller back in, and Tiana Jackson will get a breather here at the tail end of this first quarter.
Jackson has been Franklin's best offensive player so far. Really active on the other side.
Open is Mulaney for three. Lola Mulaney, who averages 16 points a game, drills it from the corner.
The inside-outside ability of the big three for Manasquan is so impressive. Almost replaceable parts on the floor.
Masonis leading the break. Up ahead, Mabry makes the catch like a wide receiver, then puts it up but can't score. Masonis somehow gets that rebound between three Franklin players. Mabry dribbles in, dishes Masonis, and traveling is the call.
Mabry absolutely hounded outside of the arc. She's going to get a breather as Geisler comes back in. One of the big questions was the status of Mabry and her ankle. Her activity and her motor has been very high.
Miller at the buzzer, and that one goes up off the rim and out. Terrific first quarter in New Jersey's state championship game. Pretty much what we expected. Manasquan enjoying a 3-point lead. The Warriors of Manasquan lead the Warriors of Franklin 14-11 here on News 12 Varsity.
Jalen woke up with hives and rashes one afternoon after his nap. We brought him to LI Urgent Care immediately, where they took us in right away. Dr. Molina examined him without Jalen crying.
And they took to each other immediately.
LI Urgent Care, Suffolk County's first and only UCAOA accredited urgent care center. We have ER-trained physicians, x-rays, and lab on site. For adult and pediatric medical care, LI Urgent Care in West Babylon. Open 365 days a year, no appointment needed.
Steel. It's tough and it's strong. Use that same strength and durability to protect what you need to store with steel utility buildings from steelsheds.com. Heavy-duty steel with all welded construction. You can't dent them by hand. We also make commercial buildings, garages, custom cellar doors, and tenant storage lockers. Manufactured only in the USA by steelsheds.com. Free delivery and free installation, including free steel floor. No cement base needed. Buy direct at steelsheds.com.
Welcome back to the Cure Insurance Arena here in New Jersey's state capital of Trenton, where Manasquan leads Franklin 14-11 in the girls basketball state final. We begin quarter number 2, and Manasquan with the basketball. This is Faith Masonis, flips it outside. Into Masonis, double teamed. Masonis spins away, puts it up off the front rim, doesn't go, and reaching over the back, the foul on Masonis. Let's check in with Amanda.
Well, Lou, we just saw there Franklin doubling down on Masonis, and that was the message in between quarters. They're in that 2-3 zone, and the coaching staff said you need to know, if you're in the middle on that zone, you need to know where Faith Masonis is at all time. Look out for her spin move. It's her signature move.
Here's Camille Gray outside for Franklin. Gives it to Diamond Miller, who got open on the baseline and misses that jump shot. Rebound pulled down by McMenamin. Mabry always looking up court. Instead dishes to Masonis, who draws the foul. That's one of the keys of Dara Mabry, who actually moved to point guard this year. Really was a shooting guard prior to this season, but her court vision so terrific. You can see her eyes when she comes down court, David. She's just constantly looking ahead. And the free throw, good. Faith Masonis, 26 points, 20 rebounds in the semifinal against Saddle River Day. Only a junior. And her second, no good. It's 1 of 2, and a good job by McMenamin to tap that rebound out to Mulaney.
Masonis knocked down, slow to get up, but stays out there.
And Mabry bangs it off the glass and in.
First field goal for Mabry.
Coming back the other way, blocking foul called on Manasquan. That should send Diamond Miller to the line. Diamond Miller, we talked about Faith Masonis just a few moments ago. Very interesting side note to this game. Both Diamond Miller and Faith Masonis have given verbal commitments to Maryland. So today they're playing against each other in the state championship. In a couple of years, they could be teammates.
It'll give them enough time, I think, to reconcile.
Miller hits both free throws. It's a 4-point game, 17-13. Carly Geisler across the midcourt line for Manasquan. And that pass inside should have a jump ball. And on the alternating arrow, Franklin will get it. It's a 4-point lead for Manasquan, up 17-13. Franklin trying to win their second straight state championship, and Manasquan trying to win their second to the last 5 years. Jump shot from the corner is good. Kennedy Schenk. It's a 1-point game, 17-16 Manasquan. Here's Mabry, walks it across the midcourt line, being played by Keona Schenk. Mabry slices through the defense and draws the foul.
Wants to know why there isn't continuation there. And when somebody registers 18 free throws in a single game with no overtime, that just tells you the type of offensive mentality a player has. And we've seen it in the first half. It's a relentless pursuit of getting to the rim, whether to score or be a facilitator for Darren Mabry.
Mabry, 2,000 points in her brilliant career. New Jersey Gatorade Player of the Year. Puts it up, can't score. Diamond Miller with that block. Here's Miller running the floor. Dishes outside. Schenk the jumper off the rim. And Dara Mabry to slow things down just a little as she brings it across.
Masonis on the bench with 2 fouls. This offense is more predicated on Mabry, even more so now.
Throw it away. Tiana Jackson going straight down the court against 2 defenders. Puts it up, can't score. Look at Dara Mabry taking a little bit of a break as she gets the basketball. She's saying, okay, that's enough of this run and gun stuff. We got to slow things down a little bit. Geisler. Mabry gives it over to Mako.
Mako played 19 minutes off the bench in the semifinals with Masonis with 2 fouls. Mako becomes a major factor in the second quarter.
How about that drive by Lola Mullaney, who had 19 points against Saddle River Day in the semifinals. She's a 1,000-point scorer as well. Scored her 1,000th point in the first round of the state tournament. Ball knocked away. Here comes Mabry running the break. Mabry twisting, spinning, puts it up, and draws the foul.
A lot of times for Mabry, it's that extra dribble. It's making sure not to terminate the bounce before she gets an angle. It's a different defender this time in Jackson compared to Schenk. A little bit bigger, a little bit more physical. So Mabry decides to go to a finesse move with the spin, and it's a similar result. Dara drawing a foul and getting to the free throw line.
Well, substitution, Faith Masonis back into the lineup. And it looks like Emma McMenamin might have some sort of problem. She's getting attended to on the bench. And Mabry hits the free throw. Dara Mabry, whose sister Michaela, of course, won a state championship here for Manasquan in 2012, then went to Notre Dame. Marina Mabry was on the team as well as Dara when Dara was a freshman when the team won it in 2015. But this year, Dara trying to win it all on her own. Well, timeout, 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And Manasquan enjoying a 5-point lead. They're up 21-16. Warriors and Manasquan defeated Newark Tech to win their 5th straight Group 2 title earlier this year. And then we talked about the win over Saddle River Day as they got the #1 seed in the Tournament of Champions.
We saw a shot of Emma McMenamin getting taped up The problem, I think, was infection control, a blood issue, a scab, or some type of cut on that left leg. And so some pre-wrap with some tape. That just about does it.
Diamond Miller turns it over. Rare turnover there by the Franklin Warriors. One of the oddities of today's game, both teams, same name. Manasquan Warriors, Franklin Warriors.
It's not very helpful for us, Lee.
You know, it's those things, Dave, that really get me going.
I knew you were up late last night, really digging in the laboratory, coming up for those types of comments.
Here comes Masonis. Dribbles in, puts the brakes on, jump shot from the corner, dances around the rim, no good. Taken by Carly Geisler. And Franklin runs the break. Schenk in the corner. Tiana Jackson hands it off to Gray. Camille Gray, top of the key. Thought about that three. Jackson instead dribbles in, spins, flips outside. Schenk takes it to the hoop, and it dances off the back rim and out off of Franklin.
Saw the way Masonis allowed Schenk to go by. Masonis is playing with 2 fouls, so she cannot be as aggressive on those drives as she would want to be. Instead, allowing the offensive player to get a look at the rim, but then getting in position for the defensive rebound, and her disruption underneath leads to the ball being knocked out of bounds back to Manasquan.
Emma McMenamin back into the game for Manasquan. And Carly Geisler with a good look on a give and go, takes it in but can't score. Camille Gray races down the court for Franklin. Schenk dribbles in. Kiana Schenk puts it up, can't score, and then a reach-in foul on Franklin over the top as Dara Mabry got that rebound. Tough defensive game so far. Offensively, not what you would expect from these two teams, but that happens in these kind of scenarios, a state championship game. Dara Mabry will go to the line now with Franklin over the limit. It's 1-1 for Dara Mabry, and her first is good. She gets the roll.
I think the Manasquan bench is now observant to the fact that our broadcast in-house is on the big screen. They're even starting to point at our cameraman, Tom Schnars, knowing that if they make a ruckus over there, they'll get on the big screen.
Poked away by Mabry from behind, and then Schenk able to retrieve it for Franklin, gives to Diamond Miller, and a foul up top. That might be, let's see if they got Dara Mabry on that. No, they call it on Geisler. That's her second. 23-16. Manasquan with a 7-point lead, their largest of the game. Diamond Miller tosses in to Jackson.
Neither team is particularly deep, so foul trouble is an issue for this particular matchup. So far, Manasquan is managing it.
Miller pops a three, can't score. And rebound pulled down by Mabry, who looks to slow things down here for Manasquan. That pass kicked out of bounds by Tiana Jackson.
It's really subtle, but with Kennedy Schenk picking up Mabry half court, 3/4 court, that's extra pressure, that's extra dribbling that Mabry has to do at her best, and that might wear her down as the game goes on.
Oh, Lola Mullaney from downtown. Jackson outside, Schenk trying to answer, can't score. Rebound pulled down by Masonis. And here comes Manasquan. Mabry running the break. 3-on-2, takes it to the hoop, and it dances off the rim. Rebound, Masonis puts it in.
What a rebound in traffic, running the floor, supporting Mabry for the putback.
Manasquan fans are on their feet. Their team is up by 12. A foul outside on Mabry.
The intensity, the energy, also the guile, almost intentionally committing the hard foul there just to slow down play and let Miller know she's there.
Well, Faith Masonis who has given her verbal to Maryland. We mentioned a 1,000-point scorer, having another monster game here for Manasquan.
Coming off of a 2020 performance, and what's going to stand out about her abilities is how well-rounded she is. Offensively can play all 5 positions, has the lateral quickness and the size to defend all 5 spots as well. Just an absolute force inside. She's been slowed a little bit by picking up 2 fouls in total here in the second quarter, but her ability to play inside out has been an absolute nightmare problem for Manasquan opponents through 34 games.
Manasquan, the short conference champions this year, defeated St. John Vianney 70-52 at Monmouth University for the short title, their 5th title, first since 2015. On the other side for Franklin Township won their first ever Somerset County title. That seems very surprising, but it's their first ever title. And very interesting, the Warriors in the Skyland Conference Delaware Division, they did not win the regular season title there. They did not finish in first. Rutgers Prep did. The Argonauts went 10-0, but Franklin, as they have done the last 2 years, got hot at the right time, tournament time.
Well, Lou, you mentioned they're on a 17-game winning streak. They have 7 losses. That means at one point this season, the team that is playing against Manasquan in the final day of the season was 8-7.
Seems hard to believe, right?
Incredible turnaround.
Here comes Mabry. Manasquan on a run here as they're up by 12. Mabry takes it right in, can't score. And Miller coming back the other way. Diamond Miller, she answers, trying to answer at the other end, has it stripped away and knocked out by Manasquan. McMenamin comes into the game. Carly Geisler goes out for Manasquan. Beautiful inbounds pass to Schenk. Tiana Jackson. Tiana Jackson, a terrific player, doesn't get a lot of ink, if you will, because Diamond Miller is there, but Tiana Jackson, she's can do it all for Franklin. So at the line, Kiona Schenk. And her first is no good. Dances off the rim. Franklin needs these free throws.
Lou, you mentioned the oddity of 2 teams, both Warriors playing against each other. Well, Kiona has her twin Kennedy on this team, in which we've seen both of them. There's also the McLeod twins.
Yes.
And the McLeods and the Shanks are cousins. Took a look at the family tree last night while you were looking at the team names.
Jump shot doesn't go by Lolo Mullaney. And here comes Diamond Miller again. Look at the quickness of Diamond Miller, who lays it in.
She has the ability to take over spurts. And Franklin needs her right here with the deficit at 10. But if the Warriors are going to send Mabry to the line, all of this work by Miller, the end-to-ends as she goes by 5 white jerseys, might be for naught as the Warriors are in the bonus. I'm starting to think that we didn't really prepare anything basketball related. We'll get to that in the second half, right?
Dara Mabry hits the free throw, and she'll get another. The lead is 11 for Manasquan, 29-18. Faith Wisonis comes out, and Carly Geisler into the lineup for Manasquan. Second, good as well.
Great management by Coach Kokoda. Going to spare Masonis 62 seconds and make sure she enters the second half with only 2 fouls.
Diamond Miller fouled, a blocking foul before the shot. Manasquan fans don't like it, and neither does Coach Lisa Kokoda. That sends Diamond Miller to the line. It's a 1-and-1, and she misses because remember the foul was before the shot. So here comes Dara Mabry calling the play. The heart and soul, really, of this team. Trying to dribble it off of Miller, and it goes out off of Mabry. And I think the officials got that call. That was a good call. Dara Mabry will come out, and into the game, Macy Black, the freshman. So for the next 40 seconds, Masonis and Mabry will sit on the bench.
So the Warriors go zone.
Here's Jackson, dribbles in, flips it to Gray. Camille Gray with the bucket. And she draws Franklin to within 10. It's 30-20 with 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Franklin fans looking for a stop. You can hear them in the background. Here's Lola Mullaney. Dribbles in, takes it to the hoop, and scores. Miller at the buzzer short, and Manasquan heads to the locker room with a 12-point lead. Manasquan fans, you can see they like that performance in the first half. How about Lola Mullaney taking over with Masonis and Mabry on the bench in the final 30 seconds.
Great job of clock management and taking care of the ball, making sure there'd only be one more possession with Manasquan's top 2 players on the bench.
All right, Amanda is standing by with Manasquan head coach Lisa Kokoda.
Coach, you guys were able to limit Miller to just 6 points and the entire team to 20. How do you continue to contain them in the second half?
Yeah, we obviously know that they're a very good offensive team, so we have to keep up our defensive possessions. Our girls are doing a good job of playing hard and rotating. We have to do a little bit better job, of containing some drives, but I think overall we're rebounding well, and that's turning into some offense for us.
It's a physical game. What do you tell your team at halftime?
Yeah, we just got to take a little bit of a deep breath, keep playing through. It's obviously physical because everyone's playing, for the season to be number 1, so everybody's giving it their all, and we've just got to keep playing hard, and staying composed and smart.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Lou?
All right, Amanda, Lisa Kokoda's team has the lead at halftime. Manasquan's Warriors, led by Faith Masonis and Dara Mabry, they have the lead going into the locker room, 32-20 on News 12 Varsity.
When fine jewelry is purchased, the service you receive should be rivaled only by its beauty. At Bunty's Jewelry, service, quality, and the customer always come first for the finest timepieces, the most precious of stones, and the highest quality diamonds. Observe our jewelers while your stones are set. Work with them to design that special custom piece, or have your stones and jewelry appraised while you wait.
Bring your unwanted gold to Bunty's. We pay the highest prices.
I got to see her for the first time, and I heard that cry. I don't think that there's anything that can ever compare to that.
She's here. Our lives were changed for the best.
Seeing her as a new mom, just glowing and smiling from ear to ear, that's what St. Catherine's is about.
It was unreal. I'm never going to forget that moment.
Jewelry design, diamonds reset, jewelry appraised by a GIA graduate gemologist. Always while you wait and watch, your diamonds never leave your sight at Gennaro Jewelers in Belmore. Honest and reputable since 1923. Feel totally at ease while you sit next to our diamond setter. While you wait and watch your diamonds being set or resized, visit our exciting new website, GennaroJewelers.com.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
We can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
I said I'd do better. Saying it and doing it are 2 different things.
When your child is struggling in school, no matter what his or her age, or on the SAT or ACT, Huntington can help. Get help now. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN and save $100. 1-800-CAN-LEARN.
Back in Trenton, where Manasquan leads Franklin 32-20. The Warriors trying to win their 2nd overall state championship in the last 5 years, their 3rd in school history, but another half to go. Manasquan, for the most part, dominating that first half, David, as they got excellent play, as you might expect, from their star players, Mabry, Masonis, and Mullaney.
It was a 3-point lead after the first quarter, ballooned to 12 at the break. One thing you can say about both these teams, especially early, is that neither team was going to settle for jump shots. Both teams looking to really attack the paint, get the ball inside, and while both teams struggled early offensively, they made sure to get looks. That was Massonis to Mulaney, and just such an impressive trio of players offensively, as Massonis has shown so much throughout her offensive game in the first half. Tiana Jackson, as Diamond Miller has been contained quite well, has taken the offensive responsibility in her hands as she's gotten off to a great start. Dara Mabry from the field hasn't been great, but you always know she's going to make the right play. And just when you think you're keying in on Mabry or Massonis, that's when Mulaney goes to work. The sheer athleticism of Diamond Miller, impossible to stop when she has momentum as she goes end to end. And speaking of Mulaney again, Massonis and Mabry on the bench, end of quarter, she goes right to the hole for a contested 2 and a 12-point Manasquan lead.
And Manasquan trying to win their 32nd game of the season and capture the state title. Again, up by 12 here at the half. You take a look at the first half numbers, and Manasquan shooting 10 of 25 from the field. Franklin just 8 of 27 and just 2 of 12 from three-point range. And another big factor, well, two big factors, Manasquan getting to the free throw line. They're 10 of 12 from the stripe, and they've out-rebounded Franklin 23-13.
Dara Mabry living at the free throw line. 10 of the 12 attempts for Manasquan are hers. And as we said from the jump, the Warriors of Manasquan bigger across the board than Franklin. They've been controlling the glass in the first half.
All right, our score at halftime, Manasquan 32, Franklin 20 on News 12, Varsity.
Last time we asked you to come in and meet with the most prepared lawyers in the business. Well, that preparation has paid off. New York Magazine just came out with a list of the top verdicts in New York for 2017, and no other law firm had more successful verdicts than Grunberg Kelly Della.
So come meet with the most successful lawyers and let Grunberg Kelly Della prepare your case for success.
Call today.
Passion. Where can it take your business? From big dreams to the big time. From building bottom lines to building relationships. From Bridgehampton to Broadway, BNB Bank is passionate about your business and its success. One of New York's fastest growing community banks, BNB has helped build and grow businesses for more than 100 years. BNB. Many success stories. One bank.
In the past, roofs weren't as important because our houses weren't insulated properly. Now, because of the high price of oil, people are putting new windows in, they're putting siding on their house, they're insulating their attics, and roofs have to be installed differently now. And if you do need a roof, we figure out the best system for your house. Every house is different, and one of the most important things you can do is get the proper system for your home. Whether it's the windows, the siding, or the roof, it's good for a lifetime.
This home saving tip is brought to you by King Quality.
Jalen woke up with hives and rashes one afternoon after his nap. We brought him to LI Urgent Care immediately, where they took us in right away. Dr. Molina examined him without Jalen crying.
And they took to each other immediately.
LI Urgent Care, Suffolk County's first and only UCAOA accredited urgent care center. We have ER-trained physicians, x-rays, and lab on site. For adult and pediatric medical care, LI Urgent Care in West Babylon. Open 365 days a year, no appointment needed.
Welcome back to the Cure Insurance Arena here in Trenton. Manasquan leading Franklin 32-20 in the New Jersey Girls Basketball State Championship game. Amanda standing by with Franklin head coach Audrey Taylor. Amanda?
Coach, the big three, they seem to be the ones that are scoring for Manasquan. How do you limit them in the second half?
Well, what we're looking to do is kind of pressure up a little bit on the guards, try to limit their touches, play a little face up a little bit on them.
And offensively for you guys, what do you need to what do you need to do to get going in this half?
We got to get Diamond Miller going a little bit. Once we got her out in transition to get a few layups, I think that helped us up to open it up a little bit. But it's just a matter of us being confident and knock down those shots.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, Manasquan leading by a score of 32-20. We'll be back after this.
Steel. It's tough and it's strong. Use that same strength and durability to protect what you need to store with steel utility buildings from steelsheds.com. Heavy-duty steel with all welded construction. You can't dent them by hand. We also make commercial buildings, garages, custom cellar doors, and tenant storage lockers. Manufactured only in the USA by steelsheds.com. Free delivery and free installation, including free steel floor. No cement base needed. Buy direct at steelsheds.com.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
We can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
I said I'd do better. Saying it and doing it are two different things.
When your child is struggling in school, no matter what his or her age, or on the SAT or ACT, Huntington can help. Get help now. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN and save $100. 1-800-CAN-LEARN.
Back in Trenton as we get ready for half number 2 in the 2018 TOC final. Manasquan leading Franklin 32-20. The Manasquan Warriors, who played in 6 of the last 7 TOC finals and 5 straight. However, David, they've lost 3 during that span. Their only win was in 2015 when they defeated St. Rose 59-55. So, you know, especially for the seniors on this Manasquan team, this game has a lot of special meaning. Meaning Dara Mabry, of course, Carly Geisler, Emma McMenamin, all seniors on this Manasquan squad.
There was a great article recently written in the Asbury Park Press where the reporter, who's new to the beat, speaks to Dara Mabry in December, so early part of the season. And as he's asking about the double overtime loss to St. John Vianney in 2016, as he's asking about last year's buzzer beater defeat in regulation to Franklin, Mabry's standing there, and she says that she gets chills just thinking about it. The singular focus of her to get back to this point and cap her high school career with a championship has permeated through her since last year's defeat.
Well, a whole half to go, and Franklin very capable of coming back from that 12-point deficit. The Warriors, the defending New Jersey state champs. Remember, this is a team that has won 3 of the last 4 Group 4 state championships as well. So they know how to win, that's for sure. Here's a foul, another traveling call on Faith Masonis. The second half begins with a turnover by Manasquan, and Franklin will bring it across. This is Tiana Jackson. Runs the show for Franklin, gives to Diamond Miller. Heard Audrey Taylor talk about trying to get Diamond Miller going. Jackson flips to Miller, dribbles in and puts it up off the glass, can't score, knocked out of bounds. It will be Franklin ball. Miller, top of the key, long 3, off the rim, no, and the rebound pulled down by Mullaney. Trying to dish it ahead, and Camille Gray picks the pocket, but then steps on the out-of-bounds line. Audrey Taylor, not so sure about that.
My adage is, if both officials are unhappy, then they're doing a good job.
Here's Dara Mabry across the midcourt line.
Sure, I stole it from somewhere or someone.
Here's McMenamin outside Mabry, trying to go inside Masonis, and a foul on Franklin.
Foul charge number 10. Keona Schenk, number 10, her third.
Fouls on Keona Schenk. First team foul on Franklin inside. Masonis open.
Her touch, incredible. And so fluid from 12 feet.
14-point Manasquan lead, their largest of the game. Schenk trying to dribble in, the block by Masonis. Masonis brings it across, dribbles in. Beautiful look inside Mabry. Turnaround is good. How about that move by Dara Mabry?
She's relentless. And again, she does such a great job of taking that extra dribble or making that extra pivot to give herself an angle to the basket. And we might be getting into a second half duel right now, Lou, where Maybury is looking to take over for Manasquan and find her touch from the field as she goes up against Miller, while Diamond Miller taking the advice of her head coach to get more active and involved.
Diamond Miller at the line. Diamond Miller has some great bloodlines. Her dad, Lance, one of the greatest high school basketball players in New Jersey history, played at a tremendous team, Bridgewater Raritan West, in the 1980s between 85 and 89, and then went on to Villanova to play for the Wildcats. That Bridgewater Raritan West team, when her dad, Lance Miller, was there, listen to this, 112 wins, 5 losses in 4 years.
What happened in those 5 games?
There is Franklin head coach Audrey Taylor. 36-22 score, a 14-point lead for Manasquan. And timeout called by Franklin as they discuss things. Franklin, of course, winning the championship last year. St. John Vianney in 16. You see Manasquan with those 2 wins, 2015 and then 2012. That victory was up at the Izod Center, up at the Meadowlands Arena at the time. And you see Shabazz sprinkled in there a few times as well. Well, Franklin trying to make some history today. If they can come back from this deficit and win, they would be only the 2nd team in New Jersey history to win the TOC 2 years in a row. Shabazz did it in 2003 and 2004, and then in 2013 and 14. Think about that. Shabazz did it twice.
It's a 30-year tournament, and it just shows you the level of competition from year to year, A, and B, how tough it is to win back-to-back. Because, Lou, you could list great programs, great teams over the years, great runs, but to go back-to-back in this tournament, that really separates yourself from the great to the elite teams in New Jersey.
Manasquan basketball. They're up by 14. Masonis being hawked out there by Camille Gray. Tries to dribble in, and a foul, reach-in foul on Franklin.
Franklin foul, number 4, Gray.
Fouls on Camille Gray. I believe that's her 3rd. Franklin's 2nd team foul here in the second half. Bounce pass comes into Dara Mabry, who tries to dribble past Jackson, dumps it over her shoulder to Masonis. Geisler open for 3, got it! Carly Geisler drills a 3-pointer. Diamond Miller dribbles in off the glass and draws the foul. Oh no, it's an offensive foul.
Using the off arm to create space. This was a point of contention of Coach Kokoda of Manasquan in the first half, thinking that Miller was just a bit too physical with her off arm, and that time she is whistled for the offensive foul. It was high and a bit of a slapping motion to the body of Geisler. Not so much of a basketball play there, and gets whistled for the offensive foul.
Good defense by Franklin to strip it away. Up ahead, Diamond Miller takes it to the hoop and scores.
Positions her body beautifully underneath, shielding the ball from McMenamin using the rim. Dara Mabry was subbed out in the last possession, got her leg looked at after contact on the last offensive series for Manasquan, and she'll come in after this timeout called by the Warriors.
Lisa Kokoda calling that timeout as Faith Masonis was in trouble on the dribble.
This is what Franklin can do, turning defense into offense very quickly. And when your 6'3" superstar runs the floor with ease the way that Diamond Miller does, you can get her involved with some easy baskets, but also some quick scores as well. But looking up at the score, Manasquan just continues to plug away. continues to play great defense. They've only allowed 4 points in the opening 3 minutes as they've expanded their lead to 15.
Manasquan's ball following the timeout, and they'll toss it inside court. Carly Geisler pulls the trigger and gets it into Lola Mullaney. McMenamin gives to Mabry, taken away by Jackson. Tiana Jackson strips it away, flips it over to Gray, who drives in and scores. So Franklin on a little bit of a run. They've cut the deficit to 13. Now, again, they steal it. Here's Gray, puts it up and in. Franklin's pressure defense creating offensive opportunities, and it's now an 11-point Manasquan lead.
The coaching staff for Franklin up on their feet, imploring their players to keep the intensity up.
Carly Geisler flips it outside to Mullaney. Mullaney trying to ward off Diamond Miller. Mabry trying to drive in against two defenders. Ball is on the floor and traveling the call on Franklin. But once again, Franklin was able to strip the ball away.
Their pressure man-to-man full court is giving Manasquan a lot of trouble right now. And while Manasquan really tries to take their time in the half court, it's the relentless pursuit of the basketball. Shank coming up with it. Gray with back-to-back buckets after she was an offensive non-factor in the first half. And what's becoming very interesting is that the first half was incredibly physical. The officials started in the third quarter by calling everything, and now they're letting a lot go, and we're midway through the third. So a lot of time for both teams to adjust, but Lou, that means there's also a lot of time for more physicality.
Faith Masonis hits that soft jumper, and once again, it's a 13-point Manasquan lead. Camille Gray dishes to Jackson, who dribbles in the lane, puts it up and in. The quick burst to the bucket by Jackson. And then Masonis trying to split the defense against that pressure. Mabry picks up the loose ball for Manasquan. Puts it up, no basket, foul before the shot.
We are sitting courtside, and the level of intensity on every dribble is just remarkable. The players, the sidelines, the fans are completely in to every second of this game. It has the intensity of a one-possession game, and Manasquan is up by 11.
Franklin with the foul on the inbounds pass.
We're now getting to the point, Lou, I apologize, where every single thing is now getting a reaction from both sides. Foul, no foul. And so we're taking a little bit away from the game and the flow of play. Hopefully we'll get out of this stretch and things will settle.
There's Mabry outside for Manasquan, dribbles in against two defenders, flips outside Masonis. Geisler dishes underneath McMenamin. 3:25 left, third quarter. Shot put up, doesn't go. Rebound underneath, off the rim and in. Faith Masonis.
You can't speed up Masonis on her shot, and that's so impressive for a junior.
Ball dribbled out of bounds, but off of Manasquan. It'll be Franklin basketball.
Everything is so frantic around Masonis, but she always takes her time and her form stays true.
Miller launches a three off the rim. Rebound pulled down. It's actually by Mullaney. And again, more intensity. Foul reaching in, called on Franklin.
This is a grudge match. You think about what Manasquan has played for over the past year, getting back to this spot to want to take down Franklin after losing last year's heartbreaker. Those type of emotions are playing out right now in the third.
Tara Mabry, Jackson all over her. Good look, what a pass by Mabry, but Masonis unable to connect as Franklin recovered defensively. Diamond Miller takes it coast to coast and scores.
Rare time where Masonis did hurry the shot underneath. And Miller once again showing her capabilities of going end-to-end, gliding down the floor for two.
43-32, and an offensive foul called on Manasquan. Call it underneath on Emma McMenamin.
It's really amazing to think, Lou, in a game where there's not a shot clock, Manasquan in particular hasn't taken the opportunity to really spread the floor and slow it down.
Bumping foul outside on Carly Geisler. 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the third quarter in this, the New Jersey girls basketball state championship game. Tiana Jackson dribbles up for Franklin. Bounce pass inside, trying to float it up. It's knocked away. They're put up and in by the Warriors of Franklin. It's a 9-point game. They have whittled that deficit down to single digits, 43-34. Dara Mabry in between the circles, moves against Jackson. Now dribbles in, pops off the back rim, oh, gets the roll. Soft touch by Dara Mabry. Back up to 11 is the lead for Manasquan. Diamond Miller trying to float it up against two defenders, and she draws the foul.
Miller playing in a different gear this half. We heard from Coach Taylor leading into the third quarter, and Miller being more assertive, not interested in posting up or moving the ball. When she gets it and sees a lane, she's taking it. And we've seen a lot more shot attempts, a lot more makes, and also her going to the line as a result of her aggressive play.
Miller misses the first. She will get another. The second is good. It's 1 of 2. And it's a 10-point Manasquan lead. 45-35, minute 35 remaining in the third. Mabry across the midcourt line. Trying to go up against Miller, but Miller just takes it right out of the air, dribbles down, still keeps the dribble, flips it back to Schenk. Miller gets it back for 3 off the side of the backboard, and here comes Masonis running the break. Diamond Miller gets back there, Jackson reaches in and commits the foul.
Franklin foul number 3, Jackson. That's 2 on number 3.
That's her second, Tiana Jackson.
17th foul.
That's the 7th team foul on Franklin, so they are over the limit, and Manasquan now will shoot 1 and 1.
And a great free throw shooting team can spend the entire half, essentially, at the free throw line.
So Faith Masonis to the line for Manasquan. Her first is good. She is a terrific pure shooter, has such great form.
The luxury of having your best players be great free throw shooters, knowing that you want the ball in their hands at crucial moments, and then you could send them to the line in an almost automatic situation is such a luxury.
Three-pointer is good. Rattled home by Kennedy Schenk. Brings back nightmares for Manasquan when they see that. Of course, she hit the game-winning three-pointer at the end of last year's state championship game. Right now, it's a 9-point Manasquan lead. Masonis into Mabry. Actually, it was into Mullaney who laid it in. Good look by Faith Masonis. Lola Mullaney getting loose on the baseline. Diamond Miller into the corner. Tiana Jackson flips in the corner. Schenk for 3, no. And the rebound pulled down by Masonis. Final 10 seconds upcoming here of the third quarter. Dara Mabry across the midcourt line. Her team up by 11. Pass into Masonis. Open jumper from the corner is short. And Miller.
And that's the 3 quarters of
And the third quarter comes to an end. Manasquan weathers the storm somewhat. Franklin's pressure defense got the Warriors of Franklin back in the game. But Manasquan still has a double-digit lead heading into the fourth and final quarter of the New Jersey State Final. Manasquan with an 11-point lead.
When fine jewelry is purchased, the service you receive should be rivaled only by its beauty. At Bunty's Jewelry, service, quality, and the customer always come first. For the finest timepieces, the most precious of stones, and the highest quality diamonds. Observe our jewelers while your stones are set. Work with them to design that special custom piece, or have your stones and jewelry appraised while you wait.
Bring your unwanted gold to Bunty's. We pay the highest prices.
In the past, roofs weren't as important because our houses weren't insulated properly. Now, because of the high price of oil, people are putting new windows in, they're putting siding on their house, they're insulating their attics, and roofs have to be installed differently now. And if you do need a roof, we figure out the best system for your house. Every house is different, and one of the most important things you can do is get the proper system for your home. Whether it's the windows, the siding, or the roof, it's good for a lifetime.
This home saving tip is brought to you by King Quality.
We go to the fourth quarter in the New Jersey Tournament of Champions final. Manasquan with an 11-point lead. Franklin basketball to begin quarter number 4. Diamond Miller dribbles in on the baseline and scores.
It's amazing to think for Manasquan that an entire season, nearly an entire year, comes down to these 8 minutes and whether or not they can hold now a 9-point lead against the surging Warriors of Franklin.
Laney launches the 3, can't connect, and here comes Franklin. Diamond Miller dribbles up. Hands it off, Camille Gray lays it up and in. Don't go away, folks. Franklin does this routinely. They did it against St. Rose in the TOC semifinals. Purple Roses had that game in control, and Franklin came back and won in the last few minutes of regulation. They took it into overtime and then ultimately won the game to propel themselves into this state final.
Remember, Manasquan took a 15-point lead midway through that third quarter. So even though Franklin only shaved 1 point off of the halftime deficit into the fourth quarter, the hill was a bit larger to climb. And so this run, they're now +8. Make it +7 in terms of their advantage since Manasquan took their largest lead. But as we mentioned, Lou, in the third quarter, Manasquan in the bonus from about a minute left to go in the third, now for the duration. So no matter what Franklin is able to do offensively and defensively, they've got to be careful not to foul because Manasquan is great at the charity stripe.
And Darren Mabry able to hit those 2 free throws, and at the other end, Franklin draws a foul, so it will send Camille Gray to the line. It is a 9-point deficit at the moment for Franklin, and Gray will shoot 2. Her first is good as she gets the roll. Second, good as well. Nice soft touch by Gray. Again, makes it a 7-point game, 51-44. Long way to go here in this state championship game. Here's Masonis way up top. Looking for some help, dribbles it off her knee, gets it back, and a timeout called by Lisa Kokoda, the head coach of Manasquan. Masonis was in trouble that time. Coach saw that. Calls the timeout. Lisa Kokoda, tremendous head coaching job here at Manasquan. One-time assistant under Coach Joe Montano at Red Bank Catholic, where she learned a lot, I'm sure, there under one of the great coaches in the Shore Conference. And Lisa, a great player herself at the Shore Conference in her high school days. On the other side, Audrey Taylor, head coach of Franklin. Also a great player at South River High School in the early 90s. 1,369 points, the all-time leading scorer for the Rams.
It's interesting to watch the Warriors of Manasquan down the stretch here. If they're going to shut off Dara Mabry, and Tiana Jackson has had that assignment here, now all of a sudden you're taking away one of the best players of Manasquan, but you're also taking away the primary ball handler. So who's going to help out Masonis? Who's going to help out Mulaney? Somebody else really needs to come to the ball and help with that, because if Masonis is taking care of the ball responsibilities, bringing it up, that means she's not in an effective spot to score offensively.
Manasquan inbounds. Carly Geisler way up top, gives to Mabry, being played by Tiana Jackson. Mabry dribbles in on the baseline, tries a reverse, no chance there. Too many Franklin defenders. Diamond Miller has it stripped at the other end, but let's see, did they call a foul on Manasquan? They did. That'll send Diamond Miller to the line. That's the foul on Faith Masonis. Is that her fourth? That's a critical foul. So Faith Masonis will play the remainder of this game with 4 personal fouls. And Miller hits both. We've got ourselves a game. Franklin has crept back in. They're down by 5.
It was Diamond Miller in the semifinals who played the fourth quarter in overtime with 4 fouls. Can Masonis match that here in the championship game? She needs to stay on the floor.
Mabry for 3. Dara Mabry with a huge 3 for Manasquan.
Wow. Just so smooth.
54-46. Miller flips it outside. Camille Gray trying to answer. Rebound pulled down by Geisler.
That's the thing about Mabry. Not the best shooting night, but you know she's ready to take the big shot despite what happened previously.
Mabry between the circles, flips it outside now. Played by Geisler, and taking it away is Schenk. Stays in bounds right in front of the Manasquan bench. Up ahead, Jackson lays it in. What a play by Schenk to tightrope.
Defense to transition offense. That's what has fueled Franklin in this second half comeback.
6-point Manasquan lead, 54-48. Mabry backs out, and Jackson comes out on her defensively. Mabry crossover dribble. Faith Masonis beyond the 3-point line. Goes cross court. Now dribbling in, laying it up off the back rim. Put back up by Masonis. Knocked out of bounds off of Franklin. Kiona Schenk comes back into the lineup for Franklin. And Audrey Taylor calls a timeout for Franklin.
Look how hard Mabry needs to work to get open as Jackson gets caught up in a series of screens. Kennedy Schenk, a great job defensively to get the ball. Miller feeds Jackson running the floor. Manasquan needs to be aware of floor balance, and they need to send bodies back. While Manasquan has beaten Franklin on the boards and the offensive glass, if they're sending 4 or 5 players for that offensive rebound, Franklin is leaking the other way, and that's been key to their success since the break.
I'm sure you might have heard in the background, kudos to the Manasquan pep band who was here today. A little extra life to this state championship game. Gotta love the atmosphere.
Lou, I've never seen anybody play a better air guitar than you pregame the other day. So, you know, if this broadcasting thing doesn't work out, I think they could use another member of their ensemble.
There's the band. Yeah, they sound terrific. Let's check in with Amanda, who is just over by the Manasquan huddle. Amanda?
Lou, Coach Kokoda telling her team, you have less than 5 minutes. You have to stay together. You have to play as a team. You also have to use your head. She said, on defense, we need to overhedge everything. They're beating us on the picks.
Mabry to trigger in on the baseline, does get it in. Lola Mullaney comes out to help out and get that long inbounds pass. Here's Masonis way up top being guarded by Diamond Miller. Hands it off to Mabry, who then is picked up by Miller on the switch. Mabry puts it up and in, and she got around Miller.
This stretch for Manasquan is it's about mentality and focus as composure just as much as it about scoring points and playing good defensively.
56-48 the score, 8-point Manasquan lead. Miller launches a three, yes! Diamond Miller from the corner. It's now a 5-point game, 56-51. Masonis flips it. Oh, what a look by Masonis, but unable to convert was Mullaney. And here comes Franklin the other way. Miller dribbles in. Mabry going for the steal. Flipped in the corner. Jackson. 3:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Franklin trailing Manasquan by 5, 56-51. Jackson dribbles in and scores. Tiana Jackson cuts the deficit to 3. Mabry between the circles. Crossover dribble. Takes it in, trying to go around Miller. Instead, Miller up ahead to Shank, lays it up and in. It's a 1-point game. Here's McMenamin, puts it up, can't score. Franklin a chance to take the lead. Diamond Miller calls the play and brings it across the midcourt line. Miller dribbles in, puts the brakes on. Double teamed, lost it. Excellent defense by Manasquan. Manasquan still with a 1-point lead. 2:40 remaining. Well, did you expect anything different here in this state championship matchup?
It's the way it should be against two great teams and two great programs.
Mabry, a burst to the hoop. She scores.
7 huge points in this final quarter for Mabry.
And Franklin throws it away at the other end. So Manasquan with the ball in a 3-point lead. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Masonis moves against Diamond Miller across the midcourt line. Gives it over to Mullaney. Lola Mullaney dribbling against Camille Gray. Pass into Masonis, playing with those 4 fouls. Mabry for 3! Dara Mabry with a long-range bomb from the top of the key.
No thinking there. Instead of draining clock, Mayberry taking over in this fourth.
And Kennedy Shank answers at the other end for Franklin. Again, it's a 3-point game, 61-58. Masonis up ahead, McMenamin. Hands it off to Mullaney, lost the dribble, and Franklin comes out of there with the turnover. A minute 30 remaining in the fourth quarter. Diamond Miller moving against Mabry, flips it back to Jackson, puts it up off the rim, but she does draw the foul. That's that 3-pointer by Dara Mabry. And at the other end, Shank in her spot with that 3-point shot. Here's Jackson at the line. Tiana Jackson hits the first, and she'll get another to try to draw Franklin to within 1. Her second, good. She hits both. It is a 1-point game. Manasquan 61, Franklin 60, with a minute 19 remaining.
Manasquan went on a 5-0 run. Franklin answers back with 5 straight of its own. And Manasquan is going back to the free throw line.
Blocking foul called on Franklin right in front of head coach Audrey Taylor. It sends Faith Masonis to the line, a terrific free throw shooter for Manasquan.
Masonis has played the entire fourth quarter with 4 fouls. We have not seen a foul out yet on either side, despite all of the physicality and the fouls. And now it's Miller who will have to play the duration with 4 fouls.
And Masonis hits both free throws. Once again, Manasquan's lead is 3. 63-60, a minute 10 remaining in the New Jersey State Championship game. Here's Miller outside, long 3 off the back rim, no. Mabry gets the long rebound, 2-on-1 for Manasquan, and Mabry dribbles in, puts up a tough shot, underhand scoop on the baseline.
She's not making the right plays, Lou, but she is delivering. Amazing. 12 points in this fourth quarter alone. Sheer determination, guts, and will. It doesn't matter what the textbook says, because Dara Mabry wants this championship, and she wants this championship badly. Up by 3 with a minute to go, pull it out, drain clock, maybe end the game. Not for Dara, not in her senior year with a TOC title on the line.
Well, Franklin calls a timeout with 50 seconds remaining here in regulation. Manasquan up by 5, 65-60. Manasquan, which won the New Jersey State Championship in 2015, defeated St. Rose that year. They won the 2012 state title, defeating Gill St. Bernard 67-55. During this 5-year span, they've lost 3 times. In 2014 to Shabazz, 2016 to St. John Vianney, and of course last year in that heartbreaking loss to Franklin at the buzzer, 50-48.
Mabry in the senior class trying to bookend titles. And what Mabry has been able to do is nothing short of extraordinary. It's more than just the raw numbers. It's the way that she has taken over in the fourth quarter. It's the way that she has the fortitude to take the big shot.
Franklin ball and a whistle. Looks like a foul underneath on Manasquan. That's going to send Diamond Miller to the line. That's certainly something Manasquan did not want to do. Allow Franklin to score with the clock stopped. So Miller at the line, misses the first on a 1-and-1. And Masonis gets the rebound, and Franklin fouls Faith Masonis on the rebound. So that'll send Masonis to the line at the other end. Foul on Kennedy Schenk, that's her 3rd. That's a double bonus, so Masonis will shoot 2. Her first, good.
17 of 19 from the free throw line. That is beyond a championship caliber performance.
And the second, good as well. That shooting touch, soft shooting touch of Faith Masonis gives Manasquan a 7-point lead. 45 seconds remaining now. In the corner, Schenk for 3. Off the rim, doesn't go. Rebound pulled down by Kiona Schenk. Gives to Miller. Miller trying to dribble in. Schenk again for 3. No, Masonis takes the ball out of the air and is fouled on the baseline. And Manasquan fans rise to their feet. They can feel it now. Their team up by 7 with 26 seconds remaining. And Faith Masonis going to the line.
A couple of incredible stretches, Lou. It was 56-55. 5-0 run Manasquan. Franklin matches it with a 5-0 run to get to 61-60. And now it's 6 straight for Manasquan at the moment to close out. Make it 7-0. The way Manasquan has kept their composure, they've made the plays, and most importantly, they've made the free throws. If you're going to take down Franklin in a rematch, you needed to play well down the stretch. It's now 8 straight for Manasquan.
How about the job Faith Masonis has done at the free throw line? Dara Mabry with a bump foul against Diamond Miller. And that's going to send Miller to the line. 1-and-1. Dara turns around And Coach Lisa Kokoda puts both fingers up towards the top of her head like, come on, guys. You got to play with your head out there. And a rebound pulled down by Masonis. And Faith dribbles out. Up ahead, McMenamin. Bounce pass, laid up and in. Lola Mullaney. And that might have done it. It will have done it. Manasquan by 9. And Mabry dribbles up. And a foul committed with 2 seconds remaining. Manasquan begins to celebrate. It will send Dara Mabry to the line. And the Warriors of Manasquan are about to win their second New Jersey State Championship in the last 5 years. Think about this run. 5 straight TOC finals. They're going to win their second state championship in the last 5 years, and their third in the last 7. Hard to imagine another public school putting together a run like this. Franklin, of course, in their second straight final, having won it last year. Diamond Miller will be back next year with this team. Here's Miller, and that will do it. Manasquan defeats Franklin. And the Manasquan Warriors are the 2018 New Jersey Girls Basketball State Champions. Manasquan avenges last year's heartbreaking loss at the hands of Franklin. In the final seconds, they finished 32-2 on the year. And they win their third New Jersey TOC title. Franklin Township, another marvelous year for them as they finished 25-8, getting to their second straight TOC final.
This matchup, the way these teams played, the level of talent on the floor, so worthy for a TOC final. And it's so tough, even at this high school level, to judge Manasquan solely what they did in today's game. Win or lose, they had a tremendous season. But you got the feeling throughout the year, Lou, when you listened to them and you read the stories and you talked with the coaching staff, anything short of what they just accomplished, and it's hard to say it, but they would have deemed it a failure. No matter how many titles and state titles and shore conference titles, regular season championship tournaments they would have won, their entire season came down to this moment. And you know what, Lou? They delivered a big run down the stretch when Franklin closed it to a 61-60 game. You saw the emotion from Dara Mabry, her coach Lisa Kokoda, and the rest of the team. They certainly earned it, and now they can spend the next year embracing this moment and the victory.
We'll be back to talk about Manasquan's 2018 state championship in a few moments here on News 12 Varsity.
In the past, roofs weren't as important because our houses weren't insulated properly. Now, because of the high price of oil, people are putting new windows in, they're putting siding on their house, they're insulating their attics, and roofs have to be installed differently now. And if you do need a roof, we figure out the best system for your house. Every house is different, and one of the most important things you can do is get the proper system for your home, whether it's the windows, the siding, or the roof. It's good for a lifetime.
This home saving tip is brought to you by King Quality.
I got to see her for the first time, and I heard that cry. I don't think that there's anything that can ever compare to that.
She's here. Our lives were changed for the best.
Seeing her as a new mom, just glowing and smiling from ear to ear, that's what St. Catherine's is about.
It was unreal. I'm never going to forget that moment.
Well, what a year for those young ladies right there from Manasquan as they kiss that championship trophy. Shore Conference champions, New Jersey Group 2 state champions, and now the overall New Jersey state champions, winning the TOC title, defeating Franklin 72-60. Just a tremendous run by this Manasquan team, and they celebrate their state title. And the Manasquan fans give their Warriors a standing ovation as well. And Amanda now standing by with our player of the game, Dara Mabry.
Manasquan is back on top. How does that feel?
It feels so good. I don't even know how to explain my emotions right now. Losing last year to that team and coming out on top my last year here, this is just the icing on the cake.
Big players step up and make big shots, and that's what you did the entire fourth quarter. Did you feel like you needed to take this team on your back?
Yeah, they were face guarding me. I was definitely getting frustrated, and I knew I had to do something. I was not going down today, and I knew it. I was talking to myself during the game. I was like, you have to do something, figure out a way, and then drove to the basket, and then I hit a three. I was like, all right, it's go time. Here we go.
The second half, all of it was a battle for you guys. How were you able to regain your composure?
I think it's ball movement is key to your composure, because if you start dribbling, then it gets hectic, and then they'll throw a trap at you, and then all of a sudden, it's a turnover right away. So just ball movement and finding the right shot was key.
When you look at everything that your family has meant for Manasquan, what do you think of that?
Winning 2 of them, and the last one I won was with my sister, and she was a senior, and I was out here tonight with some of the greatest teammates I've ever had, if not the greatest. And it means a lot, obviously, but to my family, but more to the Manasquan community, that we can bring home another gold trophy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lou, David, back to you guys.
Well, thanks, Amanda, and I'm sure down at the Jersey Shore on the beach in Manasquan, they're celebrating right now as their team has won the girls basketball state championship. Just another amazing run by this Manasquan program. And again, you could talk about all the accolades and all the things that they have accomplished. It's just a tremendous run over the last 7 years.
It's an impressive coach and team and program, but that singular effort, that signature moment for Dara Mabry in the fourth quarter, it didn't look pretty, but it was just an athlete deciding that her time was now, and to watch her accomplish what she did on this stage in that moment, incredible. This 2018 title for Manasquan will be remembered for when Dara Mabry took over in the fourth quarter and made sure she was not leaving Trenton without that gold ball.
And our News 12 varsity play of the game, of course, is Dara Mabry with one of the great shots that you'll ever see in the fourth quarter during that sequence when she took over the game.
It's the final minute. The prudent play is to pull it out. Waste clock, have them come out and foul you, but the creativity, the moxie, and also just the sheer will, that described and personified her fourth quarter, and that's why Manasquan is the victor today.
How about the Mabry sisters, Michaela, Marina, and Dara, all win state championships, 2012, 15, and now 18.
That mantle is quite full, but I think they can make room for one more trophy.
Well, we're just halfway through. We've got another tremendous basketball game coming up at 5 o'clock. It's the New Jersey Boys State Championship game, just as you would draw it up, the top 2 seeds. Second-seeded Don Bosco Prep, the Ironmen, taking on the top-seeded Lions of Roselle Catholic. And again, Division I players all over the court in that game for both teams. Join us at 5 o'clock for the Boys State Championship game. Well, an exciting girls state basketball final here in Trenton as Manasquan wins their 3rd title in school history. They defeat Franklin by the score of 72-60. So Manasquan caps off a brilliant season, 32-2, Shore Conference champions, Group 2 champions, and state champions. For Franklin, a tough loss, but the Warriors, a very talented team, and you might expect to see them back here next year as well. That will do it here today from the Cure Insurance Arena in Trenton. Once again, final score, Manasquan 72, Franklin 60. For Amanda Puglisi, David Resnick, our entire News 12 varsity team, Ablu Brogno, thanks so much for joining us. Again, a reminder, join us for the boys championship coming up next. Bosco and Roselle Catholic, that'll be coming up shortly here on News 12 varsity. So long from Trenton. Manasquan wins the 2018 state championship 72-60 over Franklin.